medication time. Medication time.
White trash, late night. Come on in, folks, the music gets tight. White trash, late night. We're in the mood and high as a kite. White trash, late night. Your mom is drunk and she just might. White trash, late night. Getting down on a Saturday.
Welcome to White Trash Late Night. I'm Mel Fesh.
I'm Blevo.
And I'm Reverend Muffington. Tonight we got this sexy motherfucker here, Dale J. Gordon.
Yeah.
But right now, you know your panties are wet. This is what you've been waiting for. Motherfucking Among the Enemy.
Circles once again. Can't seem to think how I ever called you friend. You left my heart on the sidewalk like you didn't care. And still you wonder how my love came in.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, good job on holding that guitar, man.
Yeah,
good job.
I do it every show.
Strap locks.
It is.
No shit.
Yeah.
They strap locks
I
found
break
you.
every set of strap locks. Does not matter what it is.
Man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode. Where's the camera? Are we actually on? Oh, there we are. There we are. All right.
Smile.
Tomorrow is May the 4th, so we're going to talk Star Wars tonight. We've got a bunch of regulars here tonight, so there's not going to be any game show, no bullshit like that. Just a bunch of bros talking about Star Wars. We're going to put these in order of the timeline of the universe. We're not going to start with A New Hope. So the very first segment tonight is the Phantom Menace. What is... We'll go around the room. Everyone just quickly. It's like, all right, so what are your thoughts on the Phantom Menace?
My favorite thing about it was the Jar Jar Binks back in the day.
Wow.
I didn't
I've just
care.
heard the most fucked up thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Just pop.
I didn't much care for the kid, Anakin. You know, because you already know what's coming. Like, this little bastard's going to be evil one day. So I just couldn't
Your
ever get
favorite,
into it.
your favorite is Jar Jar.
Well, yeah, he's the actual dark Sith when you get down to it. He's the
Oh,
other,
is this?
he's
Oh,
the other dark
wait a minute.
Sith.
Conspiracy theories merge into fucking Star Wars.
His own people didn't like him, dude. And if you see at the very end when the whole council and shit like breaks down, when the Jar Jar was the fucking inside guy.
Okay.
You ain't never seen that shit?
No.
Somebody put it together.
Jar Jar was a psyop this whole time,
Yeah.
dude.
Granted, I've only saw the Phantom Menace one time. I saw it in theater. Took my daughter to see it. And I've never watched it again.
Really?
Yeah. It's like I realize that these movies, although I walked in thinking that these movies were supposed to be made for me personally, like guys of my age, like walking into it, I thought like, all right, it's been 30 years. This is like
No, it wasn't for you.
No,
It's for younger kids.
no, it was for you.
Yeah, I was young when I
Yeah,
watched
I
it.
know.
Oh, how old were you when you saw it?
So it was 99. I
Yeah.
guess I was like 13, I guess. 80, somewhere in there, 12, 13,
Yeah.
14.
So that's your Star Wars. And when you talk to guys like your age,
Yeah, but I love Star Wars already, though.
Yeah, right. But it's also this was your Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that's where it breaks.
And
down
I didn't
to.
like Anakin.
Like-
It's his and only his, I think.
Yeah. It's all mine, guys.
Blevo.
George made it for
Yeah.
me.
What did you think about the Phantom Menace?
So I remember how psyched I was because they had just done all of the special
Yep.
editions in the theaters.
Did you like the special editions?
And then
They added.
the extra edition.
All right, we'll get to it. Yeah.
It was like sitting in a theater. It was packed, and like I'm about to see a new Star Wars movie, and then I am just like shit into my eyeballs for 2 hours straight, dude. I lost faith in humanity. I quit college. I was 19.
Mr. Gordon, what did you feel about it?
I'm in the wrong place. I was 18 when those came out.
Uh-huh.
I already liked the first three from the
Sure.
late 70s and
Right.
80s. I was already into music and stuff, and then I saw that they well, that's not the one they went back and changed everything, but yeah, I didn't catch on.
Yeah,
I have absolutely nothing to add to the Star Wars trilogy.
the way that I looked at it when I first saw the episode 1, I was like, all right, I can excuse this because to me, I've been waiting for episode 3, the moment where Anakin becomes Darth, and I really wanted to see this. And okay, it's Anakin as a kid. He Forrest Gumps his way and saves the universe and shit like that. Okay, I get it.
Fuck that little bastard.
But it's just like, it was just like, I just can't do it. All right, gentlemen, let's go around with the band. How do you feel about the Phantom Menace?
Who wants to go first? Because I have thoughts.
I'm sorry, I ruined your adjustment. I saw it in theaters when it first came out in '99 as well, and I don't know. I'm a fan of the originals that came out in the '70s.
How old are you when you saw episode 1?
I think I was 11, born in '88. Yeah, 11. I don't know. It was cool.
I was smashing pussy in '88.
What?
He thought he was smashing some loose pussy.
Yeah.
It was your mom.
I thought it was cool that it was like the excitement of them coming out with a new Star Wars Wars movie, so that was cool.
Plus, it's good you had on-screen representation with Chewbacca.
Right. I could play him totally. I would love to. It'd be a million.
What was the last one made of the three in the original three?
The last three?
Yeah.
It was like 5 years ago, right?
No, the first.
The Luke Star Wars.
Like what year was the last one made?
I think it was like 80. I remember Empire Strikes Back was like 82.
What?
Because they did like 78,
No,
80.
77, 80, 83.
83, okay.
Okay, so we waited like 83 to 99. So
Right.
like
That's a long time.
that's a long, you know.
The only thing you got in between then was
Beetlejuice.
the Ewoks in between.
Yeah,
The two
movie.
Ewok movies.
Yeah, a lot of people
Yeah,
I
those
love
are
those.
seen the Ewoks.
I've never seen
their
it.
childhood trauma, and they're.
I never saw the Christmas special. I never saw the Christmas
Oh,
special.
it's terrible.
Oh, I heard.
Special?
So
Oh,
there was
it's
like
terrible.
the on TV. They've tried to bury it. I've never seen it, but
It's terrible.
it's from my generation. Yeah.
Ewok Christmas? Or
No,
Star
it was
Wars?
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca?
Yeah, it was like a family of Chewbaccas, of Wookiees. Yeah. it was
Oh, but
crazy.
it was like cheap outfits.
Yeah.
It wasn't show quality, man.
Sid and Marty Krofft.
Man, you ruined my adjustment.
My pink talent adjustment.
So I love Phantom Menace.
Oh.
It's not my favorite of the three,
Okay.
but you can't discount the awesome lightsaber duels in that movie.
Yeah.
Darth Maul
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
far is the best character, and they have him on screen for a total of 5 minutes, and then they kill the motherfucker. They don't even give him a chance to like go through the rest of this fucking series.
No.
The one cool fucking character. I had Darth Maul T-shirts, and I hated the fucking movie, but Darth Maul was a great fucking
Oh
character.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but I would argue that Qui-Gon was also pretty
No.
well
No.
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 He was like that because I saw. So 99, I was 3 years old. I'm the youngest person in this room. I'm looking around.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at a bunch of
You and Mercer competing.
old saggy ball sacks. Anyway, that movie for me was like, going forward, my brother and I would always have like lightsaber duels in the yard, and he always wanted to be like Darth Maul, Count Dooku, like all those guys. And he would be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this Mace Windu flip real quick," and just would do a flip in the yard. But yeah, no, you can't tell me like I still like to this day still do that every time like just to wake myself up in the morning.
The one cool thing that came out of it is that on the Nintendo 64 they came out with Pod Racer.
Oh, that was
yeah.
And so like
Yeah.
Pod Racer was actually pretty rad because then you can like fuck yourself, and they had it where you can use 2 controllers, and each controller did an engine and a cell for each side of your Pod Racer.
Oh yeah.
And then we got some really cool Star Wars games. Star Wars games have always been cool on Nintendo, but then when they got to the GameCube, like the Star Wars games like really started to come into their own and shit. Like fucking Rogue Leader, I think was what it was and shit. Yeah. So, all right. So we covered the Phantom Menace. Let's go ahead and do a song from Mr. Dale J. Gordon. Oh, speaking of, we have got a new album out from the man. It Doesn't Light is the name. It's got fucking 9 songs on here. And Mr. Gordon, would you like to tell us a little bit about this album?
It's an album, all right.
Fuck yeah.
I want to play the title track off that called "It Doesn't Light," and it's like it's about when you doing with the stuff that you used to love doing. It doesn't make you feel as good as it used to. It could be drawing pictures or making songs and stuff. And so I hit a shitty spot in life where, it just wasn't. I wasn't enjoying it. Shows were sucking. You get paid $12 if anything, and you just wonder if it's all worth it. But so instead of like complaining and not making an album, I was like, I'm just going to make a new album, and so I did. Whereas before, I was at a point where it was just like, it's not worth doing. So it was like this. It doesn't light up the same part of my brain that it used to, and that's sad. It doesn't warm the same part of my heart like it once did. That's too bad. 'cause the world doesn't have any use for my musical contributions. And I'm glad, 'cause if they finally liked a song, they'd expect me to actually play it every night till I'm dead. After which they'll refer to me as that guy who sang that one song that they used to love at first, but now they can't stand to hear anymore since it got so overplayed for years. So now when it comes on the radio, it doesn't light up the same part of their brains that it used to. That's too bad. It doesn't warm the same part of their hearts like it once did. And that's sad.
Doesn't light up.
So we were having technical issues with the mics. They're going in and out as far as the wireless ones.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, so we've been having this problem, so we're probably going to have to do something for our next show. However, who would like to do a shot of whiskey? Anybody? 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 You don't have to. I'm not going to.
It's early in the night. Yeah. We got the rest of the show. Yeah. What is it? Southern Comfort?
No, it's close. It's Kentucky Derby.
Oh, nice.
Deluxe.
It's Chewbacca's urine.
Of the Derby.
He's dehydrated.
I knew it. I was here before anyone got here at the end. Thought it tasted a bit nutty.
A bit nutty.
So I guess the
Describe those.
Oh, thanks.
the second film would be called
I don't know if you guys want one or not.
Attack of the Clones. Yep.
Attack of the Clones.
You talked pretty cool.
Okay, so Attack of the Clones. I also
Turned it off, dude.
help.
Fucking
So,
train wreck.
I
over here.
also saw Attack of the Clones in theater, and I fell asleep during the big epic battle. I just fell right to fucking sleep to Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones.
So
Effective than ambient.
that is when we actually figured out like where Boba Fett come from a little bit better, right?
Well, I want to go into that a little bit because that actually a little bit further down the line we start getting into the Mandalorian Boba Fett thing. And I do want to hit on that, even though we're going to talk about the films tonight. But Attack of the Clones, again, some of the most boring fucking shit, and you get into the whole bureaucratic aspect of Star Wars and shit.
But I remember Yoda fighting
So yeah, but again, it didn't.
with a lightsaber.
Did y'all during that scene where they have all the council members from all over in the Federation, the one little pod that had the ETs? Did y'all see that?
There was ETs.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, like they were like what 4 or 5 of them in the little pods. you
No
know, flying.
shit. So they
Yeah.
must have had permission from Spielberg.
Well,
to-
yeah,
to
Spielberg and Lucas go hand in hand, but
do, they do cocaine together.
I would have.
Yeah, drink.
Did you guys ever see Fanboys?
Oh God, yeah, I love that movie. I loved how they had a thing for Treks, the whatever fucking Star Trek thing it was. I don't like Star Trek, and they had the one thing so they could fucking figure out if a Trekkie walked into the store, like get the fuck out of here, you Trekkie. Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Phaser or something.
And then the whole where William Shatner owed him a favor. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
That was a good movie.
they-
That's a good Star Wars movie, really.
Yeah.
About as shitty fucking movies. But anyway, yeah, actually, it was about the Phantom Menace opening up, episode 1. All right, Blevo, what did you feel about Attack of the Clones?
It was boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like watching C-SPAN, but then occasionally Yoda. I think C-SPAN should add Yoda doing lightsaber battles. Improve ratings
I'd
for
watch that.
C-SPAN.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
I get into politics. That might not be the best. Let's not.
Dale? What did you feel?
I love E.T. So
Yeah,
I
E.T.'s
remember
good.
that there were several E.T.s in that movie. But once again, I know nothing else about it. I am the most useless Star Wars guest you could possibly have.
So
but I
that's-
do have a question before it all ends. Is I would like to know how a lisp started to become this Star Wars holiday with a May the 4th be with you.
It's like the last 10 years to
Just
me.
like a Comic-Con thing, I think is where it really
It's not something that's.
Mike Tyson, I heard.
But it's new to me. I didn't hear nothing about it until probably like 10
That
years
sounds
ago.
about right. 10 years.
When it just kind of popped up.
So I mean, before it all is all over, I'd like to get to the bottom of that. But yeah, every movie you ask me about, I'm not going to know shit about. It's too bad.
take the early part of May back. It's like Cinco de Mayo. No, we're gonna make a Star Wars holiday the weekend before.
So what pissed me off about Attack of the Clones was there wasn't much Jar Jar in there. There just wasn't enough Jar Jar. I was like, how you going to do my boy like that?
They
He's like a
matured
main
Jar
part of
Jar.
the first movie, then all of a sudden he's just 2 scenes maybe? Hanging out with the princess like a little
Sometimes you
bitch.
piss somebody off on set and they cut your screen time down, man.
Jar Jar
Some-
was difficult to work with. All right, guys. What did you feel about Attack of the Clones?
I mean, the only reason to watch it, I mean, for me as a kid watching it, it was Padme in that awesome dress.
She was hot.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, Natalie Portman in general is gorgeous. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Still.
Right?
Would.
To this day.
Would.
Okay? My wife knows.
That you would.
She's a
I've
huge
had
crush of
friends
mine.
that said horrible things about The Professional. We won't go there, but
Oh,
Don't-
I try not to think, I try not to think about it like that.
I mean, I love that movie for the sole purpose of Hayden Christensen getting his arm cut off. That just, like, I did not like him so much as an actor to
Sure.
see him, like,
Yo,
just
what-
get wrecked.
He's a
by
bit of a
Count
bitch.
Dookie. He's a, you know.
Whatever even happened to that guy?
he.
I don't
fizzled
think
out.
I ain't seen him in movies in
Now Darth
years.
Vader again.
He's reprised the roles. We'll go into
Really?
that right
Yeah,
there.
well, yeah,
He's reprised it a couple of times, and actually, like, they did justice.
They did it
All right,
good.
all right. So anyway, let's see. Anybody else have anything to on Attack of the Clones?
You want me to give you the microphone? Do you want to talk?
He didn't get to chime in. About the Phantom
Do
Menace.
you have anything to say about the Phantom Menace? Here. That's all you get.
Not that tall, man.
You're fucking his adjustment up.
Yeah, the only thing that I have to say about the Phantom Menace was I really enjoyed the pod racing. That was really cool. You know, as a young boy growing up and working on my own motorcycles, I really related to Anakin when he built his own pod racer and then got to race it. That was really cool for me.
Did you ever build yourself a C-3PO or a?
You know, that was the next step, but unfortunately, I just ran out of time. I just got old.
I bet your C-3PO would have had a pussy. I mean, otherwise, why make?
What would be the point?
Anakin's mom walking in on him with his fucking robot.
In the 80s, I had a model of CP3.
Yeah, it was like a 4-foot model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was really cool.
Yeah.
And a bath towel. A Star Wars bath towel. So I was into it, like I said, but you're losing me with the new stuff. I mean, what can I say?
All right, let's get one more from Among the Enemy.
Lost innocence. Replace it all with ignorance. Blind to it all. Hope for better in the fall. Come, take my return to help me ease my mind. I'm not what you see. I'm turning back to the old me. Gone are the days, along with all my foolish ways. Innocence, hope to find it in the end. Leaves begin to fall. Change we need inside us all.
It's fucking beautiful,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, yeah.
Where can you find that song? Y'all got that recorded on a platform or anything?
So that song is on our upcoming album Metamorphosis this August.
Fuck, I gotta wait that long to hear it again?
Well, we're planning on releasing a bunch of singles, so that'll probably be one of the singles we put
Dude, that's
out.
fucking beautiful,
I'll
man.
put it out just for you. How about that?
Sweet.
Or you can go back and watch this show.
No.
It'd be like
No.
recording songs on a tape with the radio.
I'll do it for you. You got to give me a butterfly kiss.
Oh.
I don't know what that is, but it
I
sounds
don't know. Anything sounds better than a Blevo.
That's where you spit some. I want to go jumpsuits, man. And how do you piss it? You have to stand at the
check
ear.
it out. You want to see?
Oh,
Look, it's got a bottom zipper.
it's got a bottom.
It's got a top and a bottom.
Oh shit.
Yeah, his doesn't because he didn't get the cool one like mine.
Are those capris or are you just that tall?
What's that?
The zipper zip straight down?
Yeah.
That's
So they'll meet
awesome.
in the middle if you really want them to.
That's cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, I got the flex fit. I can straight up do the splits in these.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, but you got the big and tall, you know. I got the the average American.
So are you guys gonna sell the onesies with the logo and everything?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a
So,
it was
so
a great
why do
investment.
you need the jumpsuits? Like, what are you guys getting into after the show?
Carpentry.
So yeah, we all go back to my place. I got a '69 C20 that we're rebuilding together. It's the Among the Enemy mobile. We sit all three across the bench seat. I'm using the stick shift. Ricky's in the middle.
Sounds about
Just
right.
constant, just elbows to the groins the whole time. It's what he's into, honestly. He's you have gigantic. What is it? Giganta.
Oh, Gigantus.
Yeah, Gigantus.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Ricky's into whatever that fetish is where you just repeatedly hit him in the crotch.
Wow.
Everyone's into something. All right, so we're going to Revenge of the Sith now, and man, I'm just telling you, like, this was the movie as a child I waited to see. Like, we all wanted to see
This
the
is the time. It's
transformation of Darth Vader, and then what we got was like a bitch. Like, no, it was worse than that. It was like, I hate you, and it was just like, what is going on? Like, he gets his legs cut off, and then he like slowly slides into a lava pit. Come the fuck on, man. Like, all the things I imagined that was going to happen leading up, because you know that him and Obi-Wan was going to fucking go down, and they're having to do it. You knew it was going to happen.
The most fucked up part to me about it is when he goes in there, that little school of Jedi kids, and just starts slaughtering them. And you get that one.
But you don't
last-
see it.
Well, the one little Last Jedi, you see him, it's like, and then he kind of, then you know what happens to him afterwards.
But that's also a bitch thing too. I mean, what happens to dudes when they go to jail and they're kid killers?
The fucked up thing to me was like it broke her heart so bad she just died, and that was kind of corny to me.
Yeah, like everything about it just really like. It just hit a nerve of just how bad filming, and this is why like Lucas doesn't make films anymore. Like he decided, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to direct these 3. This is going to be my swan song," and he like just rubbed his big fat chode all over it and
for
it's just,
years.
Oh my god!
But finally the money came, and like the money, you couldn't refuse the money. When he eventually sold that to Disney, it was like some crazy record.
Yeah.
It was like $4.5 billion,
and
he still owned like 30% of it or something like that.
They have to use his name. He's like Trump, and so anyway, it's just like this. Like this is the moment as a kid that I waited for the whole life, and then I get such just a sad movie. The whole thing just sucked, and it just like the only thing I could really say through the whole thing is that the villain characters in this, like we got to see Palpatine through all these films. And we can kind of see how he kind of like manipulated his way into where he got when we, came into those next 3. But other than that, other than like Darth Maul, I mean, there was nothing from these series that you could take away from and be like, this is a great fucking trilogy. Because it's not. There's nothing great about it.
I thought Ewan McGregor really did a pretty good job as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
We're going to get to that because,
you know what I mean? Like
he did.
That grew on me. The first one I didn't like it. I did it, at the time, but then it just grew on me.
Well, he grew into the character.
Yeah.
Blevo, what do you feel about Attack?
So I was getting new pussy in 2005, and we had that as a first date movie.
Sweet.
I love this.
Yeah.
Turned out to be awful though.
Yeah.
Like the date turned into a marriage, turned into a divorce.
Oh.
That also was my relationship with the movie. It's like, oh, I love this shit. And then tries to get real codependent with you, and then starts getting toxic, and then sets your fucking bed sheets on fire. Like, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
I want a divorce.
So Revenge of the Sith started it all.
It did. It was the whole thing. It set the tone for the whole relationship.
Dale, any thoughts?
I'm just picturing like this Revenge of the Sith ending in a War of the Roses type of scene for you. Like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith.
So I loved Revenge of the Sith for a lot of reasons. I just saw that my brother commented on this video and remarked that I used to rock the Anakin rat tail.
I saw that.
Yeah, I did. Like four Halloweens in a row after Attack of the Clones came out. Went to the theaters, saw Revenge of the Sith with my cousin. Loved it. I was a kid. I didn't know any better. I didn't know that it was a subpar movie. George Lucas is from my hometown, so I was like, he's the man. He can do no wrong. I saw him once in a car driving by. I was like, that's cool. Bye.
Was he from?
Very
was
well.
Was he from Downey, California?
He's from Modesto.
Modesto.
And that's where I'm from. Anyway, someone mentioned something about the movie, and I was like, I need to talk about that. And it was obviously not you. You didn't see it.
I'm not going to have shit on that.
You're not the guy to talk to, but it was one of you 3. I can't remember what you guys said. It wasn't the bed sheets, wetting the sheets, or whatever that was. It was one of you
Burning.
That was confession there.
There was a confession in there.
Yeah. Venting.
Yeah. So, I mean, the
Her-
fight on Mustafar obviously was top tier. That fight between, like, Obi-Wan, I remember just being a little kid, like, having his, sexual awakening. But...
What about the What about the chick dying?
But that's one thing I thought was ridiculous. He was like, "It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground." It was like, but literally 2 movies ago, you had the low ground,
Right.
and you just did like a giant, like, muscle up, leap over, front flip, land, turn around, cut in half, Darth Maul. who was a badass that killed Mace.
Everybody.
Yeah. I almost said Mace Windu, but
Probably.
Yeah, no. So, but Anakin sucked. Like that whole movie, it was just him being a petulant child.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
There wasn't like as far as like Anakin over the course of those movies and like a character build. What he wound up. Yeah. He never grew. He never became the Darth Vader that I thought that he was going to become. Like the guy that we know in 4, 5, and 6.
Yep.
That's not who we just watched grow up. Yeah.
No, and that was my thing. I just remembered what it was. It was she died of a broken heart or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But in the original trilogy, she was like, do you remember your mother? And she's like, I remember her being sad. It's like, how do you remember that as a newborn baby, like fresh, like they pull you out? And she's like, I remember my mom being really sad. You don't remember
Her
shit.
vagina smelled funny. All right.
He's a smell guy.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I just like I think overall the prequel trilogies had to come out, and like I have great memories of going to see episode 1, taking my daughter. She was fucking like I guess your age. She stood up on her chair and leaned up against the chair in front of her and just watched the whole thing and like just amazed and awed through it and was like a Star Wars fan ever since then. So like I realized that this wasn't my Star Wars. My Star Wars had come and gone. And that's also the way I feel about like when it comes to like reboots and remakes. They're gonna remake a movie that I love. It's not for me.
I got the same vibe on the last 3 they made. I don't even think I've seen the last one yet.
So I've
whenever
seen
like
them all once.
whenever I saw Han Solo die, I was like, I guess I'm done.
Okay, well, all right.
You know what I mean? And that
let's
was
get
like
to
the
that.
second one, I think, or number 8 or whatever.
That's what I was about to say. So
Yeah.
he did want to die
They
very,
put him on
very
ice.
early on. He didn't want to do, which I don't know how you're going to turn down so much fucking money. Like when you get, like he had so much fuck you money at that point. He was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, granted, this is before Indiana Jones.
Right.
We're like right before.
Yeah.
But even still, you have all the Star Wars money, and then you go on to do Indiana Jones.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Like
You have more money than God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of more money than God, let's have another performance from Mr. Dale J. Gordon.
LJ.
There's a song, I'll preface it with saying it's what happens whenever you as a musician play stuff perfectly at your house and it's time to go record for $50 an hour or whatever it is, and you always fuck it up. When the tape is rolling, I don't know what I'm doing, and I mess up bad. It's all kinds of sad. When someone is paying attention to my playing, I just mess up bad. But if you want to hear me play, come sit in my room someday. But don't pay attention to what my fingers are doing, and definitely don't listen to the words I sing, 'cause when someone is paying attention to my playing, man, I mess up bad. When the tape is rolling, I don't know what I'm doing, and I mess up bad. But if you want to hear me play, come sit in my room someday. But don't pay attention to what my fingers are doing, and definitely don't listen to the words I sing. Yeah, my last recording session, I was all nervous, shaking like a fish out of water. Well, I was staring into those microphones. They were staring right back at me, threatening to ridicule and ruin my performance. I just knew if I played something right, it wouldn't get picked up all the way by the mic. So I just sort of ran through it, Now I regret blowing all my money doing it. Well, I declare here now, if a record is a recording of an event exactly as it went, my first guitar take was better than my third, but we couldn't use it because I fucked up the words on the second verse. Something like that. When the tape is rolling, I don't know what I'm doing, and I mess up bad. It's all kinds of sad. When someone is paying attention to my playing, man, I mess up bad. But if you want to hear me play, come sit in my room someday. But don't pay attention to what my fingers are doing, and definitely don't listen to the words I say.
All right. All right, so we're going to do these are the two middle movies that went in between the prequels. We have Solo, which is the story of the young Solo, and you know, it was directed by Ron Howard, so I really kind of had high hopes for it.
It was?
I liked it.
That was
So I didn't hate it, but this is the thing about it. I don't know. It's not a matter of money. Like I always say, when there's a movie that was good but it could have been better, I would say, man, if they just threw some more money in it. They've got more money than God, so it's just like I don't know if it was just the casting of it necessarily, or maybe it was the story of it. This was something that we wanted to see, especially the moment where Solo and Chewbacca first meet. Like, that was kind of cool, especially when they kind of, battle it out there for a second.
Well, it also explains why whenever Solo meets the one guy, what's the black guy? I can't remember his name.
Lando.
Yes. It explains why he doesn't trust him to begin with.
Yeah.
You know? I wouldn't have trusted him enough to go to his flying city. You know what I mean? Like, based off of seeing Solo.
It had everything you expected in the origin story, but it just didn't have a heartbeat to it.
Right. There was just something missing to it. It just didn't pop. It just didn't, when you,
I had zero expectations. I remember when I saw previews for it, I'm like, I will never go to the theaters and watch it. But if it ever,
and we never found out what he smuggled.
A couple of years, later after it came out, it was on something I can't remember, like Disney Plus maybe. Yeah. And I'm just like, well, fuck it, I'll watch it. So I had zero expectations. That's why I guess I appreciated it more, or I liked it better, because I had zero expectations.
Yeah, Dale, did you see it?
Not at all, sir.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I think it would have really been better maybe with a better story, because it had a great director assigned to it. Mm-hmm. They had all the money that they could have had access to with that. It's just great cast as well.
They did the right tie-ins that they had to do, but yeah, I guess there's always more.
There was just something that just didn't I didn't tell my friend about it or anything. I just didn't recommend it to somebody. I was just like. I didn't feel the need to be like, hey, have you seen Solo?
Yeah. You're embarrassed.
Having worked in films, for a while, I have an idea of what happens. It's a lot of times there's too many cooks in the kitchen. You have that much money. You have so many different voices.
Producers.
Everyone has a different agenda. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are trying to cater to children of a certain age. Other people are trying to get the old fans from the old days back on board. And,
that's what Lucas was saying about episode 1 through 3, that he was trying to make it into a kids movie. But I have to call bullshit on that, because when he did 4, 5, and 6, he was worried that people were going to take it as a kids movie. So I don't know. I think that
I see Star Wars as an all ages thing.
Yeah, it is
5 to 85.
It is. Heath, what did you?
It ain't got no just outrageous vulgarity to it.
No, it doesn't even have any blood. There's not even any blood to it.
It's kind of
people get their arms chopped off and stuff.
Yeah, but it's cauterized.
It ain't like Kill Bill where it's just
getting fed to that thing with the teeth, the hole in the ground.
The Sarlacc.
The hell with that thing. That
we'll get to that too, because that's coming up.
That's
Heath, what do you feel about Solo?
Well, I want to know why you didn't trust Lando from the beginning.
From the beginning. What?
You said you didn't trust him.
I think he's just racist.
Yeah, that's what I was.
No.
I wanted to get that.
Well, we already knew he fucked him over in the prequel or the originals.
Okay.
But Then you
right?
get to see why he didn't
Yeah.
trust
Gotcha.
Lando.
Yeah.
And this is Solo that didn't trust him, not me.
Right. Yeah. No, I heard the first part of that and I was like,
He also
buddy.
doesn't trust childish Gambino at all.
I don't trust
There's
Jabba
a
the Hutt.
long list of heavily melanated people that he just doesn't trust. It's okay. We know your secret. I didn't see Solo. I totally missed
What?
the boat on it. I was like, dude, directed by Ron Howard. Let's go. Beautiful Minds.
Right,
like,
right.
Cinderella story. Like, I'm there.
Opie?
Cinderella Man. Sorry.
Opie.
I had a was it Hillary Duff movie in my head, and so I totally had to. It was like I got to see it, and then I remember seeing they had the guy that like looked like Harrison Ford, talked like Harrison Ford, had played a younger version of Harrison Ford in a previous movie, and I was like, that dude could totally do it. And then they casted another guy, and I was like, I don't want to see that guy. That dude just, he kind of looks a little, just I can't get behind it.
Yeah, he didn't really look enough like Solo to actually play
He
the
didn't have
part.
that rapscallion look. To
Yeah.
I can't remember who the guy was now.
I got his. I don't know his name, but I got his face. I mean, all right. So the next one, as far as the middle movies, is Rogue One, and this one takes place right before A New Hope, and this is how we see how the battle plans get into R2-D2, which eventually comes into play in A New Hope. So, did you guys see Rogue One?
I have seen bits and pieces. I have not seen all of it.
I took the kids to the theater for that one.
You just see that?
Yeah, it was just sad.
I heard the ending
Yeah.
was very well. Obviously, the ending was sad or whatever.
Well, I don't know. It was. I actually liked it better than Solo, and definitely better than the prequel trilogies. It was like a prequel that we really kind of needed to see because it did kind of answer a lot of questions that we didn't really, when George Lucas made A New Hope, it wasn't.
I have seen the part where Vader gets in the ship and you see the dude running down the hallway. That I saw that clip. That's spooky as
So
shit.
it's cool when we now start to getting like into the Vader stuff. Because now we actually in this timeline, we kind of got the Mandalorian and Obi-Wan series, and what the Obi-Wan series is takes everybody who was in the movies before, and so you have Ewan McGregor coming back as Obi-Wan.
I heard. I just ain't seen that yet. It's already had a season and everything.
And the thing that I really liked about it is that you do get the Obi-Wan Darth Vader fight that you've wanted to see, and like you Revenge of the Sith just dropped the ball just on so many different levels, and then like Obi-Wan the TV series picked that ball up and were like, here guys, I got you, and fucking
Wow,
laid it up.
The
And
right nerd got to finally get his.
it's really good because
nice.
you see how Obi-Wan never left the vision of Luke and Leia. Like he knew where they are. He kept track on them. He was going back in between the two worlds and stuff like that, on top of doing his shit. And then when you do get the Obi-Wan Vader fight and everything, it's just like, this is what I tuned in for. Then when we get to like the Mandalorian, even though it didn't take place exactly in this time period, but we'll talk about it since we're getting into these. The Mandalorian took everything that they should have done with the newer movies, but kept it in the vein of the older movies. So when you watch The Mandalorian, you have all this callback to 4, 5, and 6, and you have just everything seems like of the world. When you look at the prequel movies or you look at the newer movies, they don't feel like they're in that original Lucas world. And right. And Mandalorian really feels like it's you just stepped out of that world, and you see all this interesting stuff. Especially you go back between like Tatooine all the time, and you see other huts. You're in that world and everything, and it's just like it feels right.
I think it takes you back maybe to some of the samurai and Western roots of the thing.
And makes it more of an action thing too.
Instead of like a political.
This is what it did.
Okay, so
this was a phenomenon at the time when Mandalorian came out.
Just watch,
because that was the Flagstaff show when Disney Plus was launching that they knew they was about to just.
That's the reason why I didn't watch it for the first 5 years. It was because of that right there. I wanted nothing to do with this baby Yoda
Grogu.
bullshit. I didn't want to know anything to do with it. And so when I finally got around to it, yeah, it was the comic.
Dude, that might have been like the highest selling toy that Christmas. 'Cause
Oh,
it
yeah.
was like Baby Grogu shit everywhere. It had its like own aisle at Walmart.
But that's why
it
I
seemed
avoided, because like I didn't want to see the baby Yoda thing. I didn't know what it was. But dude,
But you finally caved though. Mandalorian's great. I've seen the first 2 seasons and I haven't seen the 3rd season yet. And last thing I remember is whenever it has like a computer animated young Luke coming in and just kicking fucking ass.
That's another great thing. Well, actually, they had Luke actually come in and do it. They just digitized him with somebody else's face. So they had a young guy to do a lot of the moves of Luke, where they took Luke's face and put it on there. But then also Luke did a lot of that stuff too, but they made him look younger. I really enjoy where they really started to kind of like get into the heart of what Star Wars was and the characters that we all love to see and everything, and then actually put them into this universe. It really kind of validates at least the golden period.
To me, dude, Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia and Han Solo and fucking Chewbacca, that's the original OG. Everything else is just your prequel and you got your after. To me, that's still like my favorite. Those first 3 are always going to be my favorite. And that's even without the fucking digital animated shit they did in the 90s and when they re-released them and they added all this little digital stuff, or
we'll get to
graphics.
But then Boba Fett. Now, the thing I didn't like about Boba Fett is that Mandalorian forced you to watch the season of Boba Fett in order to get
figure out for Boba Fett.
Well, because when you go into season 3 of Mandalorian, all of a sudden, like, Roku's back, and you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck? There's, like, all this story that's gone, and you're like, I had to look it up. It's like, did I miss something? You have to watch the Boba Fett season in order to get all that shit.
Oh, that's dirty.
So it's
that's
dirty.
dirty.
But technically, it's still, to me, it's Mandalorian 2.5. Because it's not Boba Fett. I mean, it is, but it's not. They really had to tie all that in. Heath, what do you feel about the Mandalorian, Boba Fett?
I mean, Mandalorian is just, some top tier Star Wars like lore,
Even with like him and his steel and everything, yeah.
I like how he kept
like
upgrading.
You get the understanding of like why he can't take his helmet off, and then like you feel the weight of it when he finally does. Spoiler.
Pedro
Pascal. Someone told me that I reminded them of it. And
I see it.
I was like, is it looks or is it the daddy energy?
I think it's the beard and the daddy energy.
Thanks.
You go get a tan, man.
I need to get a tan. I was trying to the other day, but it just keeps raining, No, the Mandalorian, awesome. I couldn't have been bothered to see Boba Fett. I was just like,
Well, like I said,
I read so much about like how Boba Fett escaped from the Sarlacc pit, and all that stuff that I didn't need to see it.
Well, the fact that when they go into the story of him like coming out of the pit, that the fact that he was just being digested for like 10 years was weird. It was just like, I don't know. It's like, I didn't think it was necessary, but I guess overall it was necessary in the course of The Mandalorian. And then who Boba Fett actually is, who his father was, the fact that, they find his armor and shit like that, so I don't know.
You have anything to say? You have anything to add? You've seen these. Then get in here. You share something. I didn't see Boba Fett.
You're doing great. I mean,
My mom's watching this.
Yeah.
So if you can bring it down, it's okay.
Sorry, short guy over here. No, I mean, I really enjoyed the TV series. It was really cool to see The Mandalorian. Even still to this day, I'm still telling my son, "This is the way I've spoken." Those are things that when I tell him, "Hey, go clean your room," he's like, "Why, Dad?" "Because I've spoken. That's it's the way. So go get it done." And it's always really cool that we can sit down as a family and just watch these. We sat down and we literally went through everything. We binge watched all of everything on Disney Plus, and it was
nice.
Yeah. So my kid is an eternal Star Wars fan. So
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
See, one of my favorite parts is whenever they're get this one lady with her eggs, this alien with her eggs, to smuggle her somewhere else so her eggs could, blah blah blah. and the little Groco keeps on eating the eggs.
That was actually pretty fun.
That's fucking hilarious. Like this lady, these people are gonna go extinct. This motherfucker's already eating their eggs.
I will say though, I know my dad is watching. He's gonna make fun of me, but the Obi-Wan series, absolutely, I cried like a baby because it was like the first time seeing an original, like the prequel series, like cast, like show up in a Star Wars anything. And I grew to love Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan because obviously Alec Guinness is way dead. Oh yeah, oh yeah. He was 18 years. 18 years and just aged like 30 years.
I kind of get that. I feel like I've aged from a young Ewan McGregor into Alec Guinness in the last probably 5 years.
I mean, look at Ricky. He grew up in Arizona. He looks like a 50-year-old man in a 10-year-old's body.
He's 15.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get one more from Among the Enemy.
Hey, see. Come on. Come and find yourself. Move out to the breeze. Inside the walls will move and crumble as they start to fall. Oh yeah. Please come and way too late. It's the way you fade away. Fall inside your mind, escaping as you breathe. All the weight that held you down means nothing if you sink too deep. Bring it back as it takes away. Please come and way too late. It's the way you fade away. Please come and way too late. It's the way you fade away.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's all the love and affection that we have. This is the time that we've been waiting for to talk about something positive. A New Hope. I didn't see it when it was released. I saw it on the re-release. When did it come out? Like 77, so I was like 3. I guess I probably could have gone out, but I saw it in the re-release. But man, like after the first time I saw Star Wars, like I was Darth Vader like 3 times in a row for Halloween.
You just automatically went straight villain.
Yeah, no. I remember in the first grade, or no, actually it was kindergarten. I got my lightsaber taken away because I was fucking
Like whapping fucking little Rev Cartman over here.
Yeah.
Was it the plastic mask?
Yes,
and then
with the vinyl.
and then you had the vinyl with a picture of
With
Darth
picture
Vader.
of Darth Vader on it.
I had that one too. Yeah.
And I think it eventually became where I just had the mask, and maybe I just do something on like a black cape or something even. But it's just like, poor white trash. But I mean, just like I don't know, just something about Star Wars. Like there wasn't anything that really compared to it, other than like Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
And I actually, man, and I hate to say this, but I actually loved Battlestar Galactica maybe because it was more accessible, like it was in your living room. I mean, back at that time, I don't think
Yeah, but that only made it. That only made it like one season back in the day, did it not? It was like it's one of those things that turned into more of a cult thing after the fact.
They did come out with a sequel. They came out with Battlestar in 1980.
But that was later on, though,
Yeah,
wasn't it? And that was
a
like
few
more
years later. Yeah.
Oh, it was a few years later. I know they redid it.
Yeah,
a
the
couple
reboot.
years.
Yeah, the reboot in like 2003.
The early 2000s,
Yeah.
So I watched the first couple of episodes of that, and I like the fuckbot idea, but that's not my Cylon. Like my Cylon was like the Roman centurions. There was this. The great thing about Battlestar 1980 is that they have, I think, and it may even been like their final episode, but they went back with Starbuck stranded on a planet with a Cylon, and he rebuilds the Cylon, and now it's his like Starbuck and his Cylon buddy, and it was just like there was something about that episode that I always like recalled back. I don't know, man.
Either way, topic.
All right, New Hope. So, what did you think about the New Hope? Do you have memories of that? I mean,
yeah, like I guess the famous scene with I guess Lucas didn't think ahead of time. And
the kissing the
kiss
sister.
Scene, you know?
Yeah.
No sister kissing.
Or maybe he did. That's a thing now.
Or this is the White Trash Late Night Show.
That is true.
I actually was in Empire. Yeah, making him jealous. Yeah.
What are you talking about? I thought that he kissed her whenever they swung the rope over or whatever.
No, there was just palpable sexual tension. That's all.
Okay, so there was no.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It just.
Either way, there was more things to it. Those sand creatures that were. When I was a kid, they spooked me a little bit. Just that fucking noise they was making. It was more the noise. Yeah,
Yeah, Tusken Raiders. Yeah,
Tusken Raiders.
You didn't like the sand people?
It's definitely there's a trend forming.
Well, anyways,
Levo, what do you feel about A New Hope?
It's your introduction to a hero's journey as a kid.
Well, it's also the physical hero's journey. As far as story structure,
yeah,
so
like watching the trilogy on a shitty VHS copy that had all 3 of them on one tape.
Yes, that's how I saw them first.
Yeah. And it was like, holy shit, this is mind blowing because it was the first time that you got to see that hero's journey arc and see all of those kind of good versus evil and all of the classic storytelling tropes. It was the first time I was ever exposed to that, and you'll never get exposed to those concepts for the first time again, so you can't ever go back.
Yeah. And when they did go back and do like the specialized version, it didn't like really add anything to it.
Yeah, it was worthless, but it was cool to be able to see them in a theater.
Well, they did a lot of just be-real things, too, like...
Well, and they kept going back. Like, there are so many different versions of different scenes where they kept going back. And they put out... Yeah, then they redid that scene a couple of times with the Jabba because the one Jabba looked like he was too thin, and then they fattened up for another version. So there's different releases that have just different versions of that scene.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was cool, but they should have left it alone.
They should have left it. The limitations are part of what made it charming in the first place because they were able to do so much with so little. It looked realistic. It was edited so well that it's like it was mind blowing for '77.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even that one scene with the Tusken Raider where he's doing this right here, that's a re-edit where he just lifted it up once. And then they just kind of bounced it back a couple of times. But they have a despecialized 4K version of the original Star Wars trilogy. You have to look it up, but it was just a regular version, and now they've got an actual 4K scan of it where they just found as much as the pristine original footage they could. They edited together into the original movie where it doesn't have all the digitized bullshit and everything. And I've been wanting to get it forever, but I always forget about it and everything. But I think it'd be something worth, especially if you grew up, loving these movies, and then, being pissed off at the fact that Lucas, again, tried this money grab with them for the re-releases. It's a shame what he did to him.
Far as what he did too, I remember hearing back in the day, like where he owned the rights to the toys or something too. That's how he got real rich.
You own your likeness if you were an actor in a film. Yeah.
Well, Star Wars was the first.
But he sold a lot of toys
Well, that's
over
what I'm
those
saying.
years
Yeah.
between.
Star Wars
before
was the
Phantom
first
Menace.
movie that happened where they were selling the toys. In fact, they didn't even have the figures when the movie came out. They gave you a fucking IOU. It was some kind of, they gave you, I promised you 8 figures, like the first figures of the line. But because they weren't available for Christmas, they would give you a cardboard card that had, a fucking, the images of these figures that you would get. And then within a couple of months later, you would wind up getting them through the mail.
So you're just sitting there as a kid, just like.
That's it. Yeah, with your fucking IOU. But apparently these things are so popular now, and trying to get a hold of one in a pristine condition is it's going to cost you millions of fucking dollars. It's fucking ridiculous. With a fucking, I wish I would have had.
Maybe
my
not
Star-
millions, but I could see that most of them would be non-mint because they're kids. You fucking played with it.
Yeah.
And then it's just so many years of wear and tear if you didn't have it if you didn't keep it in the box anyways.
My cousin C-3POs were always sticky. This was it was prepubescent, so it's not. No. This was
little kid,
prepubescent.
you're
Yeah, they were
sticky.
just little kids, but they were always sticky. I'm just saying, this is not dirty.
Dale, A New Hope. You've seen this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, I would have more luck speaking at a tattoo convention.
All right.
Commenting on that movie. Yeah.
Mr. Heath. Yeah.
You're on the clock.
I did see a cool documentary about how they did all the sound effects and stuff.
Yes.
For the first day,
Yes,
which is
the
really
Wilhelm
cool.
scream was used in there. Then the way that they
Yeah.
used the electrical wire as part of the blaster sound
Yeah.
effects. I think I saw that doc.
over the TV or something. They're
Yes. Yeah. For the lightsabers. Yeah.
badass.
And then a guy I like, Phil Tippett, who did Mad God.
He did the animation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
He did Jurassic Park and stuff. He did a really cool stop motion called
No, he's actually.
Mad God.
It was really him and Harryhausen are the two masters of it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
You haven't watched A New Hope?
Did you hear that?
Chewbacca has not watched A New Hope.
That's the original Star Wars.
So it's when Chewie gets pissed, right? And when Han Solo dies, right?
No.
No.
The original, the first.
The first
Star Wars.
1977.
Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan, the.
Sure, what? Yeah, sure.
Oh my. I'm trying to let the band get some vocal time.
What do you want? My opinion?
What's your opinion on A New Hope?
I love it.
He just loves it.
Short and sweet.
I like all those movies.
Own the pictures.
Yeah, R.I.P. Uncle Owen and Aunt Brute. Yeah, that kind of sucks. And that was
They got a
Boba Fett that did
reprise.
that.
They got a reprise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got it, but I found out later that was Boba Fett that did that.
Really?
Yeah, he killed him.
Okay.
That's all I got. Really.
I didn't know that though. Like, how is that explained in Boba Fett?
No, it's just it's like a extra like lore thing that like. Yeah, you gotta like read like the comic books and the other stories like about it.
Boba Fett doesn't like blue milk.
No, I always wanted to try it though. It looks. I love milk, so just any kind of milk, blue milk, red milk.
The idea of walking around a theme park on a hot California day drinking milk, that does not sound like a good time.
Dude.
Oh.
All right, so in Lost Hope, you remember the things, those little things they're the ones that got R2D2.
Jawas.
Were they Jawas?
Yeah.
The little things with the hoods and the eyes. Yeah. See, I saw Phantom, and I always thought that like they were somehow 2 and 2 together when I was real little. You know what I mean?
The little eyes glue in the dark.
Mm.
Kind of. Yeah.
They were very similar to the things that was in Phantom. Our what was it? Was it Phantom? The ball thing.
Phantasm.
Oh,
Phantasm.
So, okay, yeah, they do look similar to that, but they weren't the same thing. But that would be cool, though.
I just-
say
But what was first though?
Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars first.
Okay.
I want to ask one thing. Why did Obi-Wan just like totally just like, yeah, I'm done with whatever this is? He's like looking at Luke. He's like, hey, watch this. I'm gonna die right
Yeah, that never made no sense
now.
either.
I hated that. I was like, dude, you could have just like walked away. You just like slowly made your way back to the ship, or
So, from what I understand, like he was to be released in that way, he would be, as he says, more powerful than he would be then, being how the Force, you become like the Force ghost or whatever,
and you have like the buildup of like Luke wanting to get revenge on Darth Vader because of the death of Obi-Wan, and like.
But also Obi-Wan lied to Luke about who Darth Vader was, and then going to send him on this mission to kill his father. Yeah, but yet he could have done it right then because he's Obi-Wan.
Right.
Like he defeated. He defeated him twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then now he's just going to give up. So I mean, in retrospect, it makes that scene like very fucking stupid.
Exactly. That's me looking back at it after watching the prequels, watching Obi-Wan. Like watching A New Hope again is so frustrating because he just is like, I guess it's my time. I'm like,
if you were watching the marathon and then all of a sudden you get to that part, it's not going to make any fucking sense.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And then in Empire, he's like, well, I was being right from a certain point of view. He's like, shut your mouth, Obi-Wan. Just shut up right now.
He's got some, yeah.
Let's go. What are we doing on time, Jack? All right. Let's go ahead and go into Empire Strikes Back. We'll kind of merge this a little bit, kind of move things along. What did you feel about the Empire Strikes Back?
Where it starts out with the fucking thing that Luke killed, or I guess the Yeti abominable.
Are you talking about on Hoth? Yeah.
He has to cut it open and sleep inside. Get inside
Yeah,
of it
the
to be warm.
tauntaun. No, he cuts the tauntaun open, but he's talking.
Was it
about
Luke
the,
that cut it
No,
open,
no,
or
it
it was Harrison Ford or Han Solo?
But that was after the fact. So Luke gets attacked by the abominable snow creature.
Yeah, and he breaks
whatever
it. Yeah.
Wampum?
Wampum
Or something. I just remember the achievement, Wampum Stompum in the video game. So I think it's called a Wampa. But anyway, Han Solo like saves him and cuts open his tauntaun and then shoves him in. Yeah. The whole famous line is that you smell worse outside than you do inside.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Yeah, that scene for me was that was pretty solid.
Yeah, as a kid, I remember watching that, and I was asking my uncle who was watching it with me, why would he go inside there? He said because it's warm. I was like, oh, okay. It's a lot of trouble to go through to be warm, but
also survival.
But also, that's when they get attacked there too, and that's when you first see like a Battlefront thing going down type.
Actually,
deal.
that
one thing is like
how that plays out in Battlefront is fucking amazing. If you never played any of the Battlefront games, but you actually play essentially that scene, it's fucking amazing.
There was an older one on the N64. I remember them doing a scene like that.
Yeah. that's where you got to take the rope and tie it
Yeah,
around.
and you go
Yeah.
around, spin around the things.
So
you
I
bring
saw
down.
it in theaters when it came out, and that scene where Luke goes down in the snow speeder, like watching it on the big screen and being a kid, you get that feeling like when the elevator comes out from underneath
yeah.
you know, because you're watching it go down and hit, and you're like, oh shit! Like I mean, I remember seeing it and not really seeing much like that before, and like having that reaction of like going down with the ship. It was fucking great.
Yeah. But Dak, he only had like one fight, and then he's dead.
Most people didn't last very long in Star Wars.
If you weren't a primary player, you didn't get to.
NPCs, man.
Yeah.
All right, who's left in here? Heath, what do you got?
We're an Empire?
Empire.
Well, I mean, you get a total, like, pretty cool lightsaber duel between Vader and Luke, and Luke's kind of a novice, right? And he just gets wrecked. You know,
He
Yeah.
loses his
he's getting,
hand.
like AC units thrown at him and stuff. Just, you know, like a Korean buffet, just everything just all at him all at
But it
once.
also
He can throw
feels
out the
like
window.
Vader's fucking with him more than trying to do
Absolutely.
anything. Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because he knows, he's like, this is my son. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna mess with him a little bit. Like, I'm gonna show him, like, just stop. I'm gonna, put my foot down, and drop my nuts.
Throw some Bespin plumbing parts at you.
My bad. Is this the one where Han Solo gets like
Encased in carbonite, yes.
okay?
Yeah.
But that's towards the end of the movie, though, right?
Well, at the end of the movie, Luke and Vader, they have their fight. Luke gets his arm cut off, and then it's like, Luke, I am your father, and then he fucking gets
Technically,
saved.
it's no, I am your father.
Well, that was before the Mandela
Yeah,
effect.
yeah, they rebooted
Yeah,
reality,
he's
and then we
like,
got the
join
new.
me as father and son. He's like, nah, I'll just kill myself. He just yeets
Farewell.
himself off the thing. Just falls into the abyss, and then he's just caught by the spaceship.
Yeah.
What was it? It was the Millennium Falcon, wasn't
It was Lando. Yeah, it was Lando come and saved him.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. It's those movies were great as far as what they were, but they didn't really have any real storytelling to them. It was just kind of like it seemed like the middle story for what was coming next.
Yeah, it was a perfect second act because it's like everything's gone to shit. Now
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, you lose pretty much all your characters. You get Chewbacca.
It's looking gloom, or, real dim for everybody.
Yeah.
Grim.
Yeah.
Gloom, gloomy.
Gloomy.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
said groom, and I was like,
Groom. It's looking.
buddy, you're talking
grooms.
about Lando, the Sand People, and then now you're grooming.
Grooming people.
He's grooming Lando for the same people. All right, let's get another from Mr. JLJ Gordon.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys. This is another one from It Doesn't Light, called Satan's Mother. Satan's mother loves him just the way he is, horns and all. Satan's mother calls him every day, just checking in. Satan's mother loves him just the way he is, tail and all. Tempts the people into doing what comes naturally.
And just another shout out. It Doesn't Light. Get it where you get your music. All right. So now we have Return of the Jedi, and this is Ewoks and
Yes!
all that.
Fucking
Using
love
fist
Ewoks.
pumps for the Ewoks. Over
Yes.
here. Yeah. All right.
You get to see Carrie Fisher in the like bikini with the whole chain around her neck, and
That in itself.
then when she chokes the motherfucker to death, that's really good.
The
Guy's tongue flops out. Huh? I was so hard watching that.
So that outfit has become pop culture. It's definitely one of the icons. I mean, I think about seeing like Olivia Munn in that outfit.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I mean, okay, yeah, just like that outfit just is synonymous.
Just a 30-year-old Jennifer Love Hewitt. We ain't got to go 20s or now, but just
I mean,
30
now is fine, man. She's got an ass on her. She has always had an ass on her, and that has never changed.
Dude, I always wish I could have been Freddie Prinze Jr., and I still know what she did last summer. She was so hot. Or Can't Hardly Wait. Oh, my God. She was so hot. Heartbreakers. I was like, well, fuck, I'll fuck Sigourney Weaver, too, man. I wouldn't have banged Sigourney Weaver until Heartbreakers. I'm sorry. Ripley's just too tough for me. She might break it off like Vasquez. Anyways, we're talking about Star Wars.
She was going to do porn if she didn't get the role in Alien?
Ghostbusters, she was too young for you? Or?
I don't think she would have made it in porn.
We're talking about 70s porn, though. I mean, yeah.
At least she could pass for Sylvester Stallone's sister, man. Like, she could.
Today's standards, she ain't that high.
Yeah. All right, Blevins, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, the outfit was pretty rad. All the Muppets and all the bullshit I could do without. But I bet that outfit smelled like wet pennies once you got going with her.
It's a long shoot that day.
It probably gets rusty.
Yeah. Heath, what do you feel about it?
Return of the Jedi is the one that has the bar scene?
About the
Yeah,
outfit.
the bar
or
scene.
movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
The movie, but
Okay.
or the outfit.
No, I'm going to talk about the movie
Okay.
because the soundtrack when Luke fights Vader at the end is amazing, and just that whole fight.
John Williams. and
John Williams.
His whole composition.
Absolutely,
Sure.
Like he understood the assignment, as the kids say,
Right.
But no, that whole like scene where Palpatine has his moment, where call back to the prequels. He's like, "Do it, strike me down and fulfill your anger, whatever." That whole thing was just such a perfect arc, through the 3 movies to culminate with him being like, "Nope, I'm not gonna be like my dad. I'm not gonna fight him. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna retain my humanity and I'm gonna."
And that's when the best part of the whole thing shebang for me is
Absolutely.
whenever fucking Darth Vader actually saves Luke
Yeah.
and,
Picks him up and
throws
throws
that
him out.
motherfucker down.
Yeah.
He's like shooting electricity from his fucking hands. He's going
Yep.
down. That and then you get the whole. That's when you find out that James Earl Jones isn't under the mask. He's
His
the
dad
voice.
isn't black.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, no, never mind. I won't say it. Went out for cigarettes or milk, never came home. It wasn't James Earl Jones. It was
But-
Robert Shaw, Jacob Shaw. What was?
Is that not doing the guy dirty?
David Prowse.
No, that was the guy that did the body of Vader.
right, but the
And then
face,
The
the
face. The dying Vader.
the one that looked like a dick head.
They edited him the fuck out in the special editions
Yeah,
anyway.
that's
He
what I
was
gonna Ask
gone.
you is do you prefer the version with him, or do you prefer the version where it shows Hayden Christensen coming back and he's like,
That's
So they
rough.
redid that part where they use Hayden Christensen's face at the end.
because they
Well, the
they
ghost-
justify
the ghost
it as,
scene, at least.
that's when Anakin died when he was 22, so that's the version they want to show, so that way it ties into the prequels.
Right.
Well, I remember that when they did do that at the
Yeah.
very end.
But it just makes you want to
Because they're having
Batman,
they're having
like
like the
George Lucas
party,
in the
man.
back
You're
of
like,
the
it's
sack,
all over with. The universe is safe party. The very very last
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah, you get that awesome song that's playing, everybody's having a good time.
Jub, jub.
And Yeah, it's like
Jub Jub.
Yeah, it's like
That's a banger.
it's what rave music should have been.
Dude, Jub Jub is coming back. It's going to be Jub Jub Summer.
Dude, I
this year.
forgot all about that until you just said that, man.
Yeah.
Now I can hear it.
Imagine going to like EDC or something and hearing Jub Jub playing. You're like
Just
tripping
wait till
on
the
Molly.
bass drops,
You
dude.
guys know what the next song that you guys are going to be performing next time you come back.
Oh,
Is it
we'll play it.
you guys going to do Jub
We'll
Jub?
play Jub Jub.
Jub Jub.
All right.
But you guys gotta like take your shirt off and come up.
That's
and
fine.
party.
I was
That'll
ready. I was
never-
planning on that.
That will never not happen.
Perfect.
All right.
Pasties. You gotta get some pasties.
Let's go ahead to Force Awakens. So now we're getting into the new era Star Wars. How do you feel about new era Star Wars?
Okay, so this is the chick, and I remember her going to find Luke, because she figures out where Luke's at, or is that the second one she
So-
sits there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in these we have the classic characters coming back essentially
Yes.
for their death scenes. And spoiler alert, everybody dies. Fucking Leia dies, Han dies, Luke dies. But the one death that
But not
everybody-
Chewbacca, right?
No. The one. Yeah.
Oh.
The one death that really gets everybody up in arms is Han.
Solo,
Like,
yeah.
That's the one, and the fact that he's killed by his boy,
Yep.
who also was apparently trained by Luke Skywalker. So I don't know.
Which would be his uncle, technically, because Layla and him are his brother and sister, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's,
What's confusing about that?
Yeah. I've had also a couple, but also it's just like it's good to see like an end story to this, but the story itself isn't all that great. Like there's just so much, and they waited so long to do these, and like these guys have already tagged out. I mean, Hans, fucking what's his Harrison Ford, man. I mean, he looked like he could barely walk. I mean, he looked like he was just barely holding it together for it.
He's in his 70s or older.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Dale, did you see any of the newer Star Wars?
No.
Heath.
he's got
I
opinions.
went to the theater. I was super excited to see The Force Awakens. I was like, yeah, Star Wars movies are back. And then I saw it and I was like, this is Force Awakens on crack. And just, then it was, A New Hope on crack.
Yeah.
And then you're just basically watching the exact same story, but with a female lead, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, but tell a new story. You don't need to talk about an orphan in the desert discovering that she has these abilities and they go on this hero's adventure,
And find some old wizard.
Yeah,
and, right,
you know.
yeah. That's the way I felt about it. And the fact that, Solo's kid becoming the new, Darth Vader role. They're not strong characters. If they were strong characters, it'd be like when you had to deal with Darth Vader in those early movies, you didn't say shit to him because you're gonna get choked, force choked. Like he had this.
He ran that
reputation.
shit. He was
Yeah.
the boss.
Yeah.
But what is it,
With
Kylo
Ren, he
Kylo
throws
Ren?
a fit and slices up the control panel and he's like, yeah, this is ridiculous.
Then he plays
yeah.
a Fallout Boy song, and it's just fucking
Oh, yeah.
bunch of emo bullshit.
Yeah, you just look at him and you hear Butterfly with, what was it? Bullet with butterfly wings. Yeah, the world is a vampire.
I just don't like that guy.
No.
You don't
Adam
like
Driver?
Adam Driver?
I just don't like that guy.
I did like his saber though. I like how it was. It did the crackling thing, and apparently there's a. They all have to make their own saber, and apparently whatever the process was, his crystal cracked, but he kept it anyway, and then that's what gives it the whole kind of unstable type blade. But the fact that he had to have these a little exhaust that come at the side because it was so unstable, and then gave it this upside down crucifix look to it. So I mean, the thing about Star Wars overall is the coolest characters are always the bad guys.
Yep.
Darth Vader, Darth Maul.
It's the same thing with Batman.
Yeah.
The coolest characters are always the bad guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's any I want to know more about Lo Pan and
Dude, Would that
Trouble
not
in
be
Little
cool if there was
China?
like a low pan movie?
Oh, dude.
We were just talking about
Big Trouble in Little China.
because I watched it last night.
I just watched it last week. It's
I
still,
love it.
it's still
It holds up
every
so
bit.
well.
And what I love about it is that Kurt Russell is the typified American character who is just bumblefucking his way through the story, but he's like saying
All in
these
the reflexes.
right.
Yeah, that's the length I'm trying to get my hair to right now.
Just
Like
classic Kurt Russell.
Big Trouble Little China, or Escape from New York, whichever I get first. You know?
Snake Plissken.
Oh yeah, call me Snake.
Yeah, I rewatched Big Trouble in Little China probably 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we were just talking about it in the driveway. It's one of the greatest movies.
It's
Like,
one of the greatest action movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, by far.
like
And the fact
any Kurt Russell, John Carpenter collaboration.
Oh, yeah.
Minus Escape from L.A.
It's
always good.
no.
I like
Don't
Escape.
justify it.
it's
Don't justify it.
I like Escape from L.A.
It's got
Really?
Bruce Campbell in it. Come on,
Oh, yeah,
man.
he
I was
the
the right
surgeon.
age.
I could see that.
I was
That
the right
cool.
age for it. I was a
That was
teenager.
I liked it.
I'll admit that. Like
Pam
Bruce
Grier
Campbell
playing a
and
dude.
Right. Exactly.
I liked it.
All right, let's get one more from Among the Enemy. And we'll go to our last two of the night. And let's see, was it 9 o'clock? So we've been doing this 2 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, Among the Enemy.
Skies are gray and my mind is full of rain. It's pouring out with nowhere to hide. Crash of crystal that goes through the place. The wonder flows like a rising tide. Will I go when she calls me to come close? On steady ground, but it's starting to erode. I'm with her now, she slowly pulls me in. It's hard to explain it. Crowd inside my head is sinking. This growing wave begins to rise. My isolation has me thinking, am I safer now than I was inside? With her now, she shows me who I am. Hard to take, but now she'll finally know. I'm willing that it's better in the end, but I can't explain it. Go! Skies are gray and my mind is full of rain, pouring out with nowhere to hide. Crash of crystal echoing through the place. Wonder flows like a rising tide. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
All right, so pretty much, I mean, I guess we could say pretty much the same thing about The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. I mean,
So I guess the only part I remember, because I didn't watch it all, was the chick going and finding Luke on that one planet.
and Luke not wanting to have anything
Anything to do with anything. And that was it. After that, I am completely no knowledge of what the fuck happens. I've heard that Luke dies, I guess. I don't know if he dies in the second one or the third one, but I never finished it. I just, somewhere along the line, I just lost interest. You know what I mean? Like, I just lost interest, and I never cared to even see the actual ninth film.
Yeah, so I did
Yet.
finish them, but it was just one of those things that it got to the point where it was just fan service, pretty much. I don't know. I always go back to it. It's not my Star Wars. It's this new generation Star Wars.
That's what I'm saying. This
not
wasn't
sure.
even. This one wasn't even mine. Like,
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who it belongs to. Yeah, did it belong to you? You're probably in the demo.
No, honestly, it was people younger than me.
Yeah.
must be my kids.
Like, honestly, this was the thing that bothered me the most about this Star Wars is that Luke, like, has a total just, like, drops his nutsack on Kylo Ren moment where he's like, I'm not even here, dude. And then he just dies. He just evaporates. You're like, that was nothing.
The explanation.
That's how he
is that
dies?
He uses
Yeah.
his force
Sorry, I didn't mean
power.
to spoil that for you.
He force ghosts or something.
Yeah, he force ghosts, but then it takes so much out of him, then he just kind of withers away. So I mean, it's just it.
Oh, the force projecting took
Yeah.
it out of him, and okay.
And he just,
It's like trying to blow two loads in the same night when you're 44. I get it.
That's how they send Luke Skywalker out.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty uneventful.
Yeah, like he spends the entire movie just like being like, I don't really care. I threw that lightsaber away. I don't care. And then he like has this moment where he just like totally makes Kylo Ren look like a bitch. And then he's like, all right, yep, I did my job. Deuces,
Peace
I'm
out.
dead.
That blows. No wonder. I was like, I guess I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, you
Stick around
You
for
saved
it.
yourself a lot of heartache.
Jumped off.
honestly.
The train there. The train's going right towards that wall. I guess I just jumped right off.
You got the Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome orphans at the end of Rise of Skywalker. That was unnecessary. It's like, what? I have to care about these guys now?
But you really don't.
No, I don't give a shit about the primary characters by this point.
Yeah.
Star Wars pretty much, as far as making movies, I think they're done making movies, and they've found like this home on Disney.
Well, you can
where
do
they
all
can
kinds
make
of
all
spin-offs
the-
at this
Well, that's what they're doing the series, and admittedly, I'm not going to watch a lot of them. Like, I'm not going to watch Andor. I don't give a shit about that character. I didn't give a shit about him in Rogue One, and I almost didn't watch Mandalorian and everything. I only watched Obi-Wan because I was kind of hoping it would be good, and thank God it was. Man, Obi-Wan was good, like real good. Like, if you haven't seen Obi-Wan, that's the one I definitely would recommend to go see if you're old school Star Wars.
Do you have something to say on that?
No.
I remember Obi-Wan got shit on when it came out. And I remember seeing it and being like, I don't see what you guys are complaining about. I think this is a great, like, reintroduction to the character. And like,
I think
continuing
because
his
maybe
story.
it was too close to the old school. What actually people actually wanted, that the new generation was like, well, what is this bullshit? You know,
Right.
we've seen this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I felt like Obi-Wan, awesome. Like, totally, like, I teared up like a baby when, like, the show first started and you get, like, reintroduced to Obi-Wan, like, seeing him, like, 10 years later, 11 years later,
Yeah.
however long it's been. And for
And the
me-
story's good.
Oh, the story is amazing.
So how many seasons has this got? Is it
Just
just
one.
Just the one?
It's
That's
just
It's
it?
a one and done.
One and
Wow.
done.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
it's worse.
So it's a limited
It's
special
6
series.
episodes, I
Yeah.
think. So I mean, if you haven't seen it and you like the old school, it's definitely.
Well, at least it
worth
ain't
seeing.
long to sit through. I mean, I can
Right.
sit through. See.
Well, they were gonna make they were gonna make a new Rey Skywalker movie, right? You know, she's the flagship character
She's the
now.
new
We got to
one, yeah.
carry on the story with
But
her.
nobody cares.
Nobody cared, and they scrapped the movie. Nobody cared enough to give it enough hype.
Well, I'm not saying the girl ain't cute. I just
No,
don't
she's
care.
cute, but
It's
but
like, you know what I mean? I just don't
it's
care.
not
Yeah,
written
it has
well.
it has nothing to do
Something
with
about
like,
it, the way I just didn't
anything.
care.
Yeah, you just don't care about her character enough.
They found their weight in gold with the series, because then they could take these B characters that you didn't really have anything to do with in the movies, and then they could like Andor. They could I don't know much about him, but he's got 2 seasons going on.
And why do you want to care? He dies at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know what the ending is going to be.
You know he's going to
Yeah.
die, so what do you care?
Yeah.
Like that was my whole thing with Rogue One. It was like in A New Hope or whatever, they're like, many Bothans died to get us this information.
You
And
got
you're
all
like,
these Bothans.
Yeah, and then you're like, yeah, all right, cool. So what's their story? Oh yeah, they're gonna die. All right.
That's why I stopped reading the Bible. It's like
You read it? I think you're among the majority. People who claim they read it never did, or claim they understand it.
I get the gist. Yeah. Space Jesus
just-
came down and told us all to be groovy to each other, and nobody listened, and then they killed him.
Yeah.
Same as it ever
It's
was.
totally not groovy.
Isn't that Star Wars?
Yeah, Star Wars. It's
Jesus is essentially Luke.
Yeah.
If you think about
and
it.
RoboCop.
He grew up in the desert.
RoboCop.
We had a big Trouble in Little China. Now we got a RoboCop.
Oh yeah.
Like tie-in. Is Jesus RoboCop?
I think that there should be a 3-way cage match between RoboCop, Luke Skywalker, and Jesus.
I'd pay to see that.
Yeah.
Is it like, it's you said cage match, so
Yeah.
it's like you have like Ultimate Fighting Championship.
But but you get to use your strengths. You're not going to not let Luke use his lightsaber, and then you're not going to not let Jesus use whatever magic powers or whatever he has. Yeah.
Why?
He can get everybody drunk on water. It's like, I'll throw a bunch of fish at you. It's not going to be as exciting as BattleBots. I don't know, man. Jesus is probably going to go down quick.
Not the new BattleBots, but like when it first came out in the early 2000s, man. BattleBots was the shit, man.
Yeah, dude.
You know what was cooler than BattleBots though?
What?
MXC.
What was
You
that?
ever see MXC?
No.
Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
No.
It was on Spike TV, where the comedians overdubbed the Japanese Wipeout show.
Oh, I saw that shit. Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh yeah.
And they're like,
Sounds good.
They're like,
Yeah.
it's all comedian overdub of Japanese TV. And
Sure.
like the woman comes out and he's like, this is Sally Mayfield, like coming out, like she's a single mom of 3. She's like, I like to swallow. And then she like goes and like she just gets annihilated by a giant inflatable rock or something.
Yeah, it is pretty
You never
fun.
saw that?
No.
That's fun.
That was my childhood. What?
I think you were just watching the Discovery Channel.
Yeah,
Bug
that's
Wars.
That's pretty
like
cool.
National Geographic.
Yeah.
What childhood did you have?
It was recent.
Tell us about your childhood.
Depends on who you ask.
I like Celebrity Deathmatch. We're gonna go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
Sorry, I'm
The
getting myself
claymation
out.
of that was pretty cool back in the day, and then
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time again where we're going to say, fuck you all good night. And from me and Among the Enemy and Dale J. Gordon and Mr. Blevo and Mr. Pig and Mr. Jack Mercer. Let's everyone give it up for Jack tonight. For holding it down. All right. If you disagreed with anything that we've said or agreed with anything we said, please put it in the comments. Other than that, join us on May 31st. We come back. We're going to take a little bit of break. We got some things cooking during then, but in the meantime, be good to each other. Fuck y'all. Good night.
Night.